Good morning and welcome to Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kinsley Emmanuel, and I'm very happy to be here this morning to bring you up to speed with the latest revolving round of what is sport this morning. Top corner menu. Nigerian Wrestling Federation President described All African Games trials as perfect. Coming in from tennis, Slovakia shocked Serbia to reach Davis Cup group stage. And in football, three folding hat-tricks sent Manchester City to second in the English Premier League table. These and many more will be yours after the short timeout. Please stay with
us. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Telling him not to counterpunch.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network, and of course we're very much ready this morning to bring you up to speed with the latest revolving round the water sports, and we have a lot for you this morning. We talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria as well as, of course, they're in Boko already, the second largest city in Cote d'Ivoire, where they'll be executing that particular encounter against the Bafana of South Africa. But an unfortunate, news coming in this morning that Victor Osimhen, of course, didn't join the players, of course, to Boke as it is, and he might not, of course, be in that encounter against Bafana. We hear, of course, the medical team are seriously, checking up on him to make sure that, of course, he makes a return in that particular encounter against Bafana tomorrow. Keep our fingers crossed, and we hope, of course, pray for a quick recovery for the man Victor Osimhen. Of course, it is a very interesting encounter. The Super Eagles of Nigeria against the Bafana of South Africa comes tomorrow 6 p.m. That time, of course, will take center stage, and we hope as well that the Super Eagles of Nigeria will go through. But of course, we'll be having our guests very soon on the show. But before that, let's take a look at the All African Games. Team Nigeria, of course, preparing in earnest for the All African Games. Of course, it was really an impressive one, as the president of the Nigerian Wrestling Federation, Chief Daniel Igali, has described the just concluded national wrestling trials for the All African Games and the Olympic qualifiers tournaments in Accra, Ghana, and Alexandria in Egypt as well contested. Chief Igali, who doubles as the Commissioner for Youth and Sport Development in Bayelsa State, gave the commendation at the end of the two-day national wrestling trials in Yenagoa, in the Bayelsa State capital. Now, the Commissioner noted that he was pleased with the nation's wrestlers, particularly the young wrestlers who distinguished themselves in the trials, pointing out that his joy was that every weight class was well contested for in the two-day event. According to him, with adequate preparation, the wrestlers are going to come out in flying colors the All African Games, maintaining that for the athletes to conquer Africa, they must have a minimum of a month's camping for athletes to compete favorably with their peers. He explained that 18 athletes have qualified for the All African Games, while 22 athletes would be going for the African Wrestling Championship in Alexandria, Egypt, pointing out that Nigeria represented full female team, having won the female category last year in Hammamet, Tunisia. And Nigerian Wrestling Federation President praised the officiating officials and the technical team for their professionalism to ensure everything went smoothly throughout the trials. In the meantime, 12-time African champion and Tokyo 2020 silver medalist Blessing Oborodudu has secured a place in next month's All African Games in Accra, Ghana. Nigerian wrestlers are expected to be in Accra, Ghana for the All African Games from the 8th to 23rd of March 2024, as well as the Olympic Games qualifiers tournament in Alexandria, Egypt next month. Of course, we keep our fingers crossed and see how this one, of course, will pan out at the end of the day. We hope that the Nigerian wrestlers, of course, will be able to represent themselves very well when the All African Games, of course, begins in Ghana. And we hope, just like the president has said, Dan Gali, hope that this athlete, of course, will have a better campaign, in order for them, of course, to showcase the talent properly, especially, the young ones. But let's stay away from wrestling as we take a look at weightlifting on the show this morning. Now, the duel of Nigerian weightlifters, Rafiatu Folashade Lawa and Adijat Adenike Lori Noye yesterday won 6 medals at the ongoing 2024 African Senior Weightlifting Championship in Egypt. Competing in the 59 kg women's category, Lawal and Adijat dominated the category as the carted away the top prizes on the one of the championship, would also serve as Paris 2024 Olympic qualifiers. Lawal, gold medal winner in Tunisia last year, established her superiority in the category as she once again claimed all the available 3 gold medals in that particular one, and she won the first gold in with a lift of 95 kg in snatch. She claimed another gold in clean and jerk with 119 kg before winning her 3rd gold medal in total with 214 kg. Adijat on her past followed suit on her previous year's outing, as she claimed once again all the 3 silver medals with 94 kg in snatch, 115 kg in clean and jerk, and 209 kg in total. Meanwhile, Edidion Omofia Joseph will seek to consolidate Nigerian's quest for more medals and a place in Paris Olympics in July. Today, as he competes in the 73 kg men's category by 12 noon. I recall that he won a silver and 2 bronze medals at the Tunisia 2023 edition, despite competing with injury. Nigerian participation in the championship will be rounded off today. Will be rounded off tomorrow, I beg your pardon, when Joy Izzy Ogbonne will compete in the 71 kg women's category. We'll see how that one, of course, will pan out. But let's stay away from that as we talk about tennis this morning. Slovakia provided the biggest shock of the Davis Cup qualifiers as they knocked out 2023 semi-finalist Serbia, France, the Czech Republic, Belgium, Canada, Germany, the Netherlands, United States of America, Finland, Argentina, Chile, and Brazil also booked places in the competition's group stage. They joined last winners, Italy, 2023 runners-up Australia, and wildcard Great Britain and Spain. The 16 qualified nations will contest the group stage from 10th to 15th of September, and the competition will conclude in November with the final 8, quarterfinal, semi-finals, and final in Malaga as well. Away from that, still talking about tennis, Emma Raducanu, of course, Emma Raducanu claimed a straight set win over Maria Buskova to set up a second round match with Onshipua at the Abu Dhabi Open. The 21-year-old Brighton fought back from a breakdown in the opening set before dominating the second to win a 6-4, 6-1. Raducanu missed the final 8 months of last season following wrist and ankle surgeries, and she made her Grand Slam return at last month's Australian Open, losing to China's Wang Yifan. A wildcard recipient in Abu Dhabi, Raducanu will continue her comeback from injury when she faces Tunisia's Onshipua, a 2-time Wimbledon finalist and world number 6 in the next round. Emma Raducanu, who won the US Open in 2021, has never won against a top 10 opponent in 4 attempts. And of course, will she be able to take out Onshipua this time around? Because it promises to be, a very, very exciting encounter to watch out for. Emma Raducanu, of course, has not been at the best of form. We saw her at the Australian Open, and of course, wasn't really an impressive, outing for her. She started brightly, but of course, she dropped in terms of performance as well in that particular one. But we hope, of course, she will be able to take down the likes of Onshipua. But can she do that? Because I think that's going to be a tall mountain, of course, for Emma Raducanu, of course, to climb. As it is, we hope she will to redeem herself. She's been looking for that comeback spirit, and we hope, of course, she gets it this time around against Onshipua. Onshipua, on the other hand, she's been very fantastic. Of course, the next succession don't think that also be on her, but we hope that she'll be able to challenge Emma Raducanu, of course, when they meet in the Abu Dhabi Open as well. But away from that, let's talk Formula One, as Williams must make good step in the coming Formula One season after tweaking the design philosophy for their car, according to driver Alex Albon. The Brighton headed the team's improved 2023, where they came 7th in the Constructors' Championship. The FW46 car will be unveiled at testing in Bahrain on 21st February, and the team launched their new livery on last year's car in New York yesterday, with team principal James Voles adding, he said, and I quote, "Everyone at Groove HQ is pushing as one to create new history for this iconic team." And once dominant Williams showed signs of recovery in 2023 from a fallow period with season best, 7th place finishes for Albon at the Canadian and Italian Grand Prix. Let's see how that one, of course, will pan out in the coming days. We hope, of course, there will be an improvement, of course, in the Williams car. We hope a lot of constructors putting their cars, of course, in order ahead for the next season. A lot, of course, to expect this coming season, and let's see how that one will go. But we hear that Red Bull Formula One team boss Christian Horner is under investigation after complaints of inappropriate behavior was made against him. Red Bull said it took the allegation extremely serious and has started an investigation, as it is. And Horner, who is 50 years, oversaw Red Bull's second breaking 2023 season, in which the team won 21 of 22 races, as Max Verstappen secured his 3rd world title. And of course, see how this one will go. Hope that everything comes out well at the end of the day for the Mercedes boys. But away from that, we hear Formula One bosses have announced changes to the format of sprint races for the 2024 season. Free practice and sprint qualifying will be on Friday, sprint race as the first track action on Saturday, followed by qualifying for the main Grand Prix. Saturday had previously been separated out as a sprint focus day, and there will be 6 sprint races this year in China, Miami, Australia, Austria, the US Grand Prix in Austin, Brazil, and Qatar. Formula One governing body, the FIA, said the regulatory refinement for the changes to the sprint format will be presented to the World Motorsport Council on 28th of February. All right, keep our fingers crossed. A lot of changes now in the one, and look forward to see how this one will go. But let's talk about the Olympics. As Noah Lai says, he wants to win all the Olympic medals after setting personal best in winning the 60 meters at the Boston Indoor Grand Prix. The American, who's 36 years, triumphed in 6.44 seconds, the fastest time of 2024, and 0.01 seconds of Kristen Coleman's indoor world record. Lance, the 100 meters and 200 meters and 4x100 meters world champion, is set to race in all 3 events at this summer's Paris Olympics. That's won by 0.01 seconds from Jamaica's Akeem Blake, with American Ronnie Becker coming third. And the World Indoor Championship take place in Glasgow from 1st to 3rd of March, and the Olympics begins on 26th of July. And of course, keep our fingers crossed and see what Noah Lai, of course, will be able to do in the coming Paris 24 Olympics. But at this point, we'll take a short break, and when we come back from this break, of course, we'll be having our guests as we take a look at the preparation of the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of that interesting encounter tomorrow, talking about the semi-final clash between the Super Eagles and Bafana in the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Please stay with us, we'll be right back.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Telling him not to counterpunch. Will Rockman get up? Or has to take it?
Welcome back, Steve Sports Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Of course, it's time for me to talk football on the show, and time for me to take a look at the preparation of the Super Eagles of Nigeria against, of course, the Bafana of South Africa. And of course, I told you we'll be having our guests on this lap off for the show. Ayo Kevin joins us this morning. Ayo, good morning to you, and welcome to Sports Talk.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on Sports Talk this morning.
We're very happy to have you this morning. Quickly, let's take a look at the African Cup of Nations. Ayo, what are the positives? What have you actually, taken or seen from this edition of the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire?
Well, I think the African Cup of Nations 2023 has been an interesting one. See a lot of upsets, see a lot of intriguing moments from all the players, all six who are participating in this African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. It has lived up to the billing, it has lived up to the hype, it has lived up to investors to come in Cote d'Ivoire, and a lot of persons catch up. The corporate aspect of it, the media, the fans, and the business things are also catching out in the African Nation 2023 in Cote d'Ivoire. It has been an interesting game where we see a lot of underdogs taking up the big giant, the big household names when it's the African Cup of Nations. This is the African Cup of Nations that is unpredictable. Like we all say, football is a and it's quite unpredictable. I'm just saying it for the
Interesting as well. And aside from what we've seen on the pitch of play, what will you say about the level of organization for this African Cup of Nations from CAF?
Well, for me, I would say it still works in progress. When I mean work in progress, so you cannot perfect all things rightly, but I think kudos to the organizers, the Confederation of African Football, who have been able still maintain the standard. Looking at it, the VAR, looking at it, the officiating too, has also improved massively. And we must give good sanctions that everybody is up and going when it comes to these Cup of Nations participating. So I think the organizers has done it well. They still need to be drawing board. They need to review the group stage and now knockout stage and still look where they need to touch the eyes and touch the feet. So that will give them more edge. But most when they organize. So when it comes to the TV right, it has not been really impressive. Out of social media is where the CAF is too that is streaming all the they are using a cartoon, a kind of a PS form to this particular game. It's not really what we expected for those fans who are not actually Cote d'Ivoire to see this game. Like they believe that there's still their mobile phones, they can be able to watch it at the comfort of their home. So I think this is one thing that the African Cup of the CAF confederations need to actually look at.
All right, so interesting. And what do you make of the fans in some of the matches so far, especially the ones we saw in the group stage of the competition, and even some of the games in the knockout, the quarterfinals as well? We didn't see, much turn up for the fans in the stadium. What do you think could be the reason?
Well, I think it goes a long way to play when it comes to the game is actually being staged Cote d'Ivoire. We might not really get what comes to security situations there authority the governing body football association should have ensured that rally around the players, rally around their fans, spectators to actually put it to the stadiums to give various teams a house support. I think that's one of the little pieces they're not getting rightly. But like I said, what's the consequence of the security situation in Cote d'Ivoire? It could be an internal thing and it could be something they don't want to really blow out of proportion. Not to scare tourists, to scare investors, not to scare a lot of persons. I think something somewhere is not right. But aside here in Africa, we could only love our if the home team that is playing, say, the stadium stood up to the brink. But there is something that needs to be done. The IP to work, the expectation to look at, if it is to throw the gate, up to get the spectators. The more the spectators, the more attractions of corporate bodies coming in to invest in football when it comes to African football teams. So I think they need to go back to that drawing board and ensure that they need to get the gate open for fans to play.
All right, so let's see how it goes. We hope that this time it's in the semi-final stage for the competition, and we hope that, of course, fans will turn up this time around, of course, to take a look at these matches. Let's go back home as we'll take a look at the performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. It's been an impressive ride, of course, for the Eagles in the African Cup of Nations. I don't know what you've actually deduced taken so far from the performance of the Eagles in Ivory Coast?
Well, the performance of the Super Eagles in Cote d'Ivoire has been quite impressive. Yeah, I could remember vividly, right under the when we had say that this is not where we need to the coach of the Super Eagles, Joseph Castro. But he has right Nigerians wrong, and he has done he started right by proving all the critics rightly. It is not about the qualifier series, it's not about all the games that he has been winning. But though one thing that is still lacking is the goal drop within the team. We still find it difficult to penetrate the speed line. We still find it difficult to utilize those opportunities at the shoulder. Scoring those goals is making sure that we amass more goals. I think in this tournament we've only scored twice, and that goal came from one man, Ademola Othman. We need to actually look at it well. We are playing against Bafana tomorrow. As you can see, I'm already in my grade. The support is already starting from the day I
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
So it's all to share the to victory. And one thing for sure, Pila coming in from Cote d'Ivoire that will definitely meet our top line, which is Victor Osimhen. But let's see how it goes. Let's see how it pans out. So there will be no vacuum. There will be no vacancy for any field of play. You also have other players who can definitely man of the season on the Bafana side.
All right. And from what we've seen so far, talking about the performance of Yosef Pesero, a lot of, before the African Cup of Nations, Yosef Pesero was heavily criticized because of, his technical, he wasn't that, technically sound. But take a look at what he's been able to do. Do you think the man is technically sound enough to continue as the head coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria?
Well, for me, I quite think that he knows what he's doing. He served your best for the main big occasion, which is this particular tournament. I think he has experimented with a lot of players. He has done lot with certain, and his position has been top tier. The 4-3 3-4-3 formations are also as for him, knowing who was in the middle of the park where we are lacking the experience and people midfielder who will be able to distribute the ball off for us, and having a Sado from the left and having a line knock off the right flank too has been very impressive. Combinations of two has been impressive in the middle of the defensive line. I think he knows what he's doing. We'll continue to stick with him and we'll keep working. Now that we've also solved the goalkeeping problems with Mwabali in goals for the Super Eagles, I think that's the really super doubt that has taken away all our boards, that has taken away our weight when it comes to the goalkeeping. So, but one for sure is the we are still looking on the mid to pass. So for me, I'll stick with Joseph Pesero to continue what he's doing with the Super Eagles and ensure that he injects more of the home base, more of the players who have played in the Nigerian soil. Talking about like Maurice Chukwu was once instrumental for Rivers United when they won the Nigerian Professional Football League season. And some other key players in the Nigerian League, inject them and blend between the home base and the foreign players. Definitely your team would be 80-100% better.
All right, let's see how it is. We hope that the NFF, of course, probably might yield to, keeping the man Yosef Pesero at the moment because he has really proven himself. In fact, he has actually met his target. His target was to get to the semi-final of the African Cup of Nations. Maybe the NFF will do whatever they can to keep him as head coach or for the team. But let's talk about the team now proper. We've seen a very, very solid defense, in this African Cup of Nations for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Talked about the fact that tomorrow we'll be looking horns against the Bafana of South Africa. Can they stop the high-flying attacking side of the Bafana of South Africa tomorrow?
for me, I have no worries about our defense. One thing for sure, I am confident about the defense. But if we could have bring in more of a defensive midfielder who will be able to game the runs of the back of the pack before they penetrate into the defensive side, that would have been very key. That would have been very important because by the time you keep piling pressures on your defensive line, definitely the weaker and the more exposure they become when it comes to penetration. The Bafana side, they are more on the side. They are formidable. They are players who have played for the Zamalek side, Orlando Pirates. Name them. They are mostly home based and they understand themselves. They have the chemistry between within the and they know how to penetrate. Though Nkabali plays for South Africa, and he also understands some of the players, their weakness, their strength. But our defense should not be exposed to allow the Bafana penetrate them more. So we need to cage. So Sehidu happens to be from the left flank, happens to be my worry a bit, but he needs to have a little bit of support from that wing so that the Bafana will wing penetrate into that box. So I think I don't have worries with that defensive line. Just my concern is the midfield, defensive midfield to be able to take most of all those their deadly runs. They are very quick and they are very sharp when it comes to attacking progress.
Have you been satisfied with the midfield of the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Have you been satisfied of that midfield that has the likes of Alex Iwobi, Franco Nyeka, and the rest of them?
I am not fully satisfied. Though Alex Iwobi has been giving up his best, I have been on top of his game. He has been trying as much as could, but those passes that need to go, the timely passes are not there. We need good outreach. Joe Aribo too on this particular Afcon. Joe Aribo is not in this game. We are still missing the sacrifice of Wilfred in the middle of that park. We were not seeing that agility, that hunger, that passion from Wilfred in it. So we so much believe that the midfield is still lacking some ingredients to make the Super Eagles what it takes. Take a look at Victor Osimhen has to be dropping down to get those balls, struggles those balls. Moses Simon on the left flank has to drop down to also struggle for the ball. Ademola Lookman too has to also come to ensure that they get the Samuel on the right flank also has to struggle to get the ball. So if we had a very good midfield, a good defensive midfielder, and a natural midfielder who understand the importance, we are still missing the spaces of JJ Okocha. We'll continue to talk about this until we are able to replace JJ Okocha. That is for sure. But for me, the midfielder has not been at their A game in this African Cup of Nations tournament.
All right, let's talk about the attack. Aldemar Lukman, of course, have been very, very fantastic up front for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And as well, Victor Osimhen, just like you mentioned, he might not, of course, be in that encounter against Bafana tomorrow. Should Nigerians be worried?
Yes, yes. Well, why I said we're worried, friends, fighting spirit of the team cannot be compared to any other. Like I said, maybe we would have seen the best of Victor Boniface if he has not picked up that injury. This is the moment that we have expected him to off his A game, but he's with the team at the moment. So Ajayi should also come in and start with it. But I think at this very point now, Ademola Lookman would definitely pick up the shot, or maybe Kelechi should begin to pressure on. But nobody will definitely take the places of Victor Osimhen because he has very instrumental with the team and he has been carrying the team shoulders. You see the team play, you see the team commitment. Even though he's not scoring, he's providing an assist or he's creating a chances for the next player to score. We saw that particular goal that how the whole defensive of the Angolan team were on Victor Osimhen, thereby opening up space for Ademola Lookman to bury in that particular goal to focus to that point. So I think no player will make Victor Osimhen, and we will expect all that players fill in the gap.
All right. She's talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, following the Super Eagles progression to the semi-finals for the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, the team has earned a prize money of $2.5 billion. That's about 3 billion naira. Nigeria could reach the semi-final of the 34th edition of the AFCON after defeating Angola 1-0 to now the Felix Hopet Bogne Stadium in Abidjan on Friday. As one of the remaining 4 teams in the competition, the Eagles, alongside South Africa, their semi-final opponent DR Congo, and host Ivory Coast, have already secured $2.5 million for the start of the tournament. Before the start of the tournament, the Confederation of African Football President Dr. Patrick Posempe announced a 40% increase in prize monies. Now, according to the statement published on the website of the football governing body on January 4th, the winners of the tournament will receive $7 million, $2 million more than the reward doled out at the last edition in Cameroon. And the runners-up for the African Showpiece event will now get $4 million, while each of the 2 semi-finalists will receive $2.5 million, with each of the 4 quarter-finalists taking home $1.3 million. If Nigeria advanced to the final, they would have secured a minimum of $4 million. That's about 5 billion naira prize money. Additionally, if they win the tournament, they will receive $7 million. That's about 8.8 billion naira. Now, while the Eagles arrive in Ivory Coast, the second largest city, Bouake, today, ahead of the semi-final clash against South Africa, as we speak, preparing for that semi-final clash against the Bafana of South Africa. But Ayo, this is a very huge amount of money, $7 million, 8.8 million, 8.8 billion. Of course, if you convert that to naira, I don't know what you make of this shoot. Some Super Eagles, of course, are at the verge of getting this huge amount of money. Could this be a reality, Ayo?
You see, what is being announced, we should expect the worst after the African Cup of Nations, court cases here and there, sharing formulas here and there, Nigerian, everybody, even the Senate House Committee on Sports, they are, everybody wants to know how this money is spent. I think it's not about money, it's about winning this particular tournament. More smiles on the faces of Nigeria. These players are already earning most of all this money in the various clubs in Europe. I think it's also another morale booster for the CAF Confederation Cup to up the price for this particular tournament, and a very kudos one to them. The money should not be a distraction to the Super Eagles, but it should also be an advantage after we should be also the motivating factor for playing football. It should also be the benefit that you reap after winning a particular trophy, which is the African Cup of Nations. And we've seen the passion of the players, we've seen the commitment of the players, the hunger that they want to lift this particular African Cup of Nations. So, getting a 3 billion naira for reaching semi-finals is another booster, because you know that even though you did not win, you still have something to take up. But that should not be a distraction for the Super Eagles against Bafana. Like I said, this morning after the African Cup of Nations, just remember this, that I said it. You will hear a lot of problems coming up here and there, how this money is being spent. The presidency also trying to set up another investigative panel to ensure that NFF runs their affairs. So the matters surrounding these bush and money will be another talking point after African Nation.
All right, we heard this morning that there's a serious panic in the camp of the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire after the African Soccer Ruling Body officially ruled out 4 of the players, for the semi-final clash. We hear that 4 players of the Ivorians have been ruled out, and some of these players include the likes of Kwame and other players. They were actually relocated, and due to that, of course, they were missing the semi-final clash against DR Congo. But before we talk about that panic in the camp already, I don't know what you make of the, you know, progress of the Ivorians in this African Cup of Nations. At the group stage of the competition, so many thought, of course, they will actually go home because of the way they perform in the group stage. But all of a sudden, they are in the semi-final of the competition. I don't know what you make of their performance so far. All right, so we hope to have A, of course, back on the show to give us a take on the progress of the Ivorians in the African Cup of Nations. Hey, are you there?
Yes, with you, country. Hello, can you hear me, Kingsley?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I think the player from the South African side should not be a worry for the Super Eagles. To me, it's nothing to worry about. But there are still some definitely players who have not seen their ability on the field of play. They could be very clinical. They could be on they could be on the bench, trying as possible to understudy the performance of the Super Eagles. But I think for sure that we must understand is we need to keep our house together. We need to keep the unity. We need to ensure that we continue the way we are going. It is nothing. It is nothing that will override or underrate the Bafana side. And at the end of the day, it's our own parade. So we need to approach every game with that winning mentality. We need to approach every game with our tactics right. We need to approach every game with all players fit. It is not time to experiment because we're playing Bafana, and they're missing 4 key players in the middle of the pack for them. They will now inject players who have not been with the team. Let's stick with our 11. Let's stick with our first team and ensure that we get those winnings. The major aim is to win the tournament. The major aim is to not about the other pack. I'm a Nigerian here, and I support Super Eagles all the way out. So I don't bother what is happening in the camp of the Bafana. What is concerned is my own team winning, and that is the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Comes tomorrow by 6 p.m.
Hey, let's talk about the Ivorians. That's what I was actually asking. They will be looking on against the Aru Congo in the semi-final of the competition. And I don't know what you make of it. I was talking about the fact that they would have been eliminated in the group stage of the competition. All of a sudden, we're seeing them in the semi-final. I don't know what you make of the Ivorian team in this African Cup of Nations.
Football, I will still repeat my Ivorian, the Cote d'Ivoire side. In fact, there's a lot of surprise when we could not even stop our group. They could not even come out second, but rather they qualified as best losers. Here they are in the semi-final. I think it's also part of the things that maybe we are not seeing fans, because I think expectations of the fans, the expectations of the home fans there, they did not even get that surprise when it's at the group stage. But now they were able to manage their way through to the semi-final. Hopefully that will in the fans. I think one thing that we don't understand about the Cote d'Ivoire side, could they all go out to win the tournament, or are we going to face them? Because I've seen Nigeria in the finals, and it will be a repeat of what happened in the group stage. So to me, the Cote d'Ivoire side, they've been impressive, and gradually they are injecting themselves into the tournament. Maybe as of when they were started, they didn't understand the target ahead of them until when they went back to the drawing board and they began to stick back to their reading. They dug themselves not winning or not becoming in the group stage to actually get into the quarterfinals. I think it's a good one for the Ivorian side, and they must continue to impress. They must continue to ensure that they keep the hope of their countries out. I know DJ Drogba somewhere will be very happy to see that they managed to get to this point. Manuel Couture will also be Yaya Toure, the life of all ex-players who has done the colors, the orange color for the Cote d'Ivoire, will be impressed with what they are doing and currently being at the semi-final. So they want to see their team get to the final of this particular competition.
Away from the Ivorian team, we hear that after much deliberation and scrutiny, the Federation Royal of Morocco Football under Fozo Lecture has decided to retain the services of Walid Regragui as the coach for the Atlas Lions. North African country is one of the top favorites for the ongoing African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast after their semi-final finish of the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, but it was never meant to be as they were sent packing by the Bafana Bafana of South Africa in the round of 16. Regragui, who had earlier set at least a semi-final target for the team, decided to have a meeting with the Federation President about his future. According to the update, Regragui has made up his mind to throw in the towel, but Lecture refused to accept his resignation at the time short for the preparation for the next African Cup of Nations. Morocco has been awarded the hosting rights of the next African Cup of Nations in 2025, and Lecture believes that their image could be redeemed on home soil. But thinking about issues concerning football down here in Africa, here the Confederation of African Football CAF has announced that referees in countries where video assistant referee system are not used would not be given matches. The announcement was made yesterday during a press conference of the CAF Technical Study Group, the TSG, at the main media center in Abidjan. Now, according to the TSG, the press conference is set to discuss the tactical aspects of the games played so far at the ongoing CAF African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, which has reached the semi-final stage. Presently, Nigeria is not using VAR for their league matches, but the chairman of the Nigerian Football League, Nigerian Premier Football League, Benga Elegbeleye, promised recently in an interview that VAR will be introduced this year in the league. This is a very controversial one because this is coming from CAF that referees that their country, of course, do not use VAR will not be given matches to officiate, especially when it has to do with CAF competition. I don't know what you make of this.
For me, I think it's a good one. That it's more.
All right, so we hope to have Ayo back, of course, to have a stake, on that particular one. And I think it's really a dicey situation. Okay, we have Ayo back.
Referees in the middle of.
Ayo, go ahead. We can hear you.
Are you there?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
That would definitely increase performance of the central referees and the assistant referees. It would really boost the morale for Nigerian Premier League. Me not having VAR also sorry, but once it's out of our standard has been able to set up a video assistant referee. Their document marker has it, the Gospel Baby International Stadium has it, and the Stadium has it, and maybe few other stadiums who have the facilities to accommodate video assistant referee. I think if this money is being won by the African Cup of Nations, the Super Eagles, I think part of that money should also be set to inject into the Nigerian Premier League. These equipment, this gadget as well to boost the performance. We are also worried that most of our Nigerian referees are not officiating in big tournaments like this. It shows how lenient we are. It shows how we're not copying our games. It shows how league itself is being seen by the outside. So we must ensure that we get this equipment and also engage our referees. Nigerian Referee Association needs to also put out together to get most of all those get boost the performance. If our Nigerian referee must officiate in any of the CAF tournaments anytime in the near future.
We'll keep our fingers crossed and see what the league board will do. Talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League, we hope Benga Elegbeleye will live up to expectation by providing the video assistant referee technology down here for referees, Nigerian Premier Football League, to use on Nigerian referees, of course, to say. But let's take a trip now to Europe. Yesterday, Manchester City beat Brentford by 3 goals to 1. Scored a hat-trick in that particular encounter. Courtesy of that victory, City are now second on the Premier League table. The Premier League table getting very dicey at the moment. Ayo, I don't know what you make of it. Arsenal at third, I think, with 49 points. Manchester City are second with 49 points. Liverpool, of course, they are first with 51 points, at this point in time. What do you make of, the intensity down there in the Premier League table?
Well, this is what football is all about. The competition. It is not about a one-off race, but this is now like a 3-4-off race. Somebody giving the prize, which is winning the English Premier League. Man City, on their own part, coming out to make a statement yesterday by producing that. So I think it boosts their chances, and it also shows that the other teams who want to win this season must definitely up their game. Two nights ago, I've seen the tabletop has been Liverpool, and it was also a superlative performance from the Gunners. Now it's Manchester City making up a statement that is not about being on the second. We are coming for this tournament, we are coming for this trophy, and we are always winners. So it shows the momentum of a champion. And for City, it's a good one for them. For other teams who want to actually win this year's African English Premier League, need to up their game to ensure that get their win mentalities right, and that will definitely go a long way for them.
Hey, on Sunday, we saw an impressive performance from Arsenal Football Club. They actually beat Liverpool by 3 goals to 1 in that particular encounter. And so many are saying that Arsenal are back, of course, to the title race. I don't know what you make of it. Do you think they are serious title contenders?
Well, for me, team that would say I want to use the word until. For one thing, that Arsenal is also predictable. The moment you expect them to win, is the moment they fumble the more, and thereby giving you an aspect. But when you didn't expect them to win, because like on Sunday nobody expected Arsenal to win. They all expected either Liverpool to win that, it ends in a draw. But here, Arsenal producing a performance that was top notch, that was at the best. So for us, until the end of the league, until the end of the tournament, then that's when I would say Arsenal maybe they are worthy champions, or they are just pretenders. For me, Arsenal is the thing that you can't really write home about. They could win, they could fire from all cylinders, but tomorrow they could as well fumble. So let's just keep Arsenal at the average.
Let's keep them, of course, at the average. Of course, the performance they put up so far. But
Thank you very much for having me.
From the line across the ocean to the land through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the